When you think of electric skateboards, only one or two brands probably come to mind. A lot of people don't even know this new mode of transportation exists, but personalities like Casey Neistat have managed to clue the world in on this new era of modern travel. With Boosted Board in the headlights of the industry, does their name deserve to be the one that comes to everyone's mind? Let's find out. The Boosted Board 2.0 feels more like a traditional longboard than any other option I've tried. Its long and symmetrical board gives you a solid foundation to stand on while riding, and the bamboo deck gives a decent amount of flex when going over bumps in the road. Aesthetically, this thing is very pleasing. It uses a constant theme of black and orange throughout to support its branding, but that doesn't take away from the overall appeal. Compared to something like the Swagtron Voyager, which has branding plastered all over the body, you might even call this board minimalist. There are two different motors available to the rider upon purchase, with the enhanced Dual Plus version giving you a 2 mile/hour bump in maximum speed and 5% gain in incline. This will cost you a pretty $200 premium though, so you might only need this if you live somewhere with a lot of hills. The base model of the board has a 6-mile range standard, with the enhanced battery launching later this year, which will give you twice that. This enhancement normally costs $400 extra, but Boosted will give it to you half off if you pre-order early enough. The riding experience on this thing is an absolute dream. It's got a smooth acceleration curve that comes to a stop just as smoothly. The wheels are made to take on a decent amount of bumps and scuffs in the road, and you should be able to traverse just about any modern terrain with this thing. I had a great time traveling the streets on the Boosted Board 2.0, and only had it die on me once after not plugging it in for a couple of days. Since it's shaped and feels like a regular longboard, you should be able to get around twists and turns just fine, but Boosted lets you adjust the tracks and wheels just in case you don't like how it handles. The controller fits in your hand nicely, and uses a trigger and thumb wheel to control the speed. There are 4 different drive modes for you to choose from, which will alter how sensitive the board is to turning the wheel. From novice to advanced, there are settings built in here so that everyone should be able to get used to it after a bit of practice. You can toggle between these drive modes pretty easily with a series of taps on the controller's main button, but that information you can easily find in the manual. So is this board worth the $1,300 price point the company is asking? That's hard to say. When there are things like the Swagtron Voyager on the market that have a longer range and cost only $400, $900 is a pretty massive price differential. That being said, Boosted have put a substantial amount of work into making sure this is an adapted piece of modern lifestyle, and not something that people are going to stare at you confused about. If that and the more optimal riding experiences are important to you, it may be worth it to save up a bit longer and nab this thing. Do new modes of electric transportation interest you? Make sure to stay tuned to Charge.io for all the latest in electric skateboards, cars, and beyond.